things that, as a flipper, somebody who makes crafted items, flips furniture, anything like that, I've always been one that really didn't want to do commission work. As a hairdresser for 31 years and pleasing people, in that job, I'm like, you know what? When I start this journey, I don't really want to do commission work. I just want to be an artist and just create what I'm inspired to create. So with that being said, I can be swayed if you offer me butter pats. So when Diane sent me the story of the butter pats and she had 15 butter pats left, and she liked one of my bed and breakfast signs that she would like to give to a friend for Christmas, I'm like, okay, first you said you had butter pats, or as she called them, ugly condiment cups, in her article. I'm like, okay, fine. I will go ahead and we will be happy to do some commission work for butter pats. But it will be a tag team effort because the original sign that she liked, it was probably a children's bed or a children's play doll bed headboard that I had created the sign. I think one of my viewers ended up buying it, asking and buying it off of eBay. And I have made a lot of bed and breakfast signs, different versions of the bed and breakfast signs. So we are going to create, I said, if you find the boards and you find what you want, we will figure out how to create it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I needed Chris to tag in because it was a old mirror frame from a dresser, but the mirror, the glass was broken out, which is perfect because then you can put wood in it. Well, of course, it's not just a square shape. It could never be that easy that it could just be a square shape. So with that being said, I'm going to go out to the shop and tag for where Chris left off and start finishing up her bed and breakfast sign. And then we'll walk these sweet little babies back over to their little nesting spot. Yes, I will work for butter pats. How she ever found a smaller version of this, I will never know, and it being that white chippy, but as you see, the glass is broken out, so Chris is just going to take it apart to put a piece of plywood, a piece of wood set in it. And of course, no, it can't just be square, it has to have that rounded top. After tracing what he needs to cut the shape to insert into the frame of where the mirror used to go, then he can get the straight lines cut with a table saw. But of course, he's going to go to the bandsaw to cut that rounded edge as close as he can. At his first try, he actually got it to fit. What's the chances of that? Well, he measured right, but got that good shape penciled out and was able to achieve it. Luckily, it has those nice square points at the top. So now just a little bit of cleaning up the frame with the leftover that held the glass in, any nails, anything to prevent it from laying down there flat. There was a little bit of paper on here, so he's just going to go ahead and scrape that off. Then he's just going to use some Titebond glue and some clamps to clamp it, to hold it together, and then just let the glue dry, and then we should be good to go.
Now it's my turn. Chris did his magic of fitting the odd size into the frame. So now I'm going to start to paint it. I am going to paint the front and the back just so it has that finished look. But I'm going to start off with, because she wants an old chippy, like aged look. So I'm going to start off with some White Swan by DIY to do the base color. And it's really dry wood, so it's just going to probably just soak it right in. And I'm choosing DIY because I want to put some milk paint over the top of it. But I'd like to have it a couple different white tones, like it's been painted multiple times, like the old chippiness would be. I actually was running out of the DIY, but so I watered it down. And I chose to do the DIY because I can use a heat gun to dry it and move on to my next step. I don't have to wait forever for paint to dry, especially since I have to do both front and back of this piece. And because it's so heavily pigmented, it's a wonderful, when you're running short, it's amazing how much coverage you can get by adding water to a piece. Look, I am having no problem getting it covered. So I need to spray some shellac. Unfortunately, the wood is bleeding through the white paint at a yucky yellow color. So this is the base. So anywhere the paint is off and the wood is showing, I need to give it a spray. So now I can paint it in the hopes that it doesn't turn my paint yellow. I don't mind a little bit of yellow, especially since it's not my finished coat, because I do think it gives it that old-timey look. So I think this is just an old dresser, you know, where the mirror used to be. These are perfect to make over. People don't seem to want those anymore. So for us DIYers, thank you very much for selling them at a sale. Now, knowing that this is going to yellow my white paint, I'm going to go ahead and do some shellac. Which will act as a primer and stop that from bleeding through. Sometimes I get asked, how many coats of shellac does it take to cover up? It takes as many as it takes. So after 2 coats and 1 coat of the paint, you can still see that it's bleeding through yellow, but only in that one spot. So either I didn't get enough on that spot, or that's just the stubborn spot that is just the stubborn spot. So I'm going to go back in and do another coat of shellac. See how that just yellowed right up? So we'll just see if that will take care of it with another coat of paint over it after it dries. I'm going to look for a crackled, crazing, chipping look now that I have the chalk paint on there, or the clay, excuse me, the DIY paint. I'm going to do flour sack over the top of it. And yep, this is just one of those projects I have to do both sides. I'm going to go ahead and seal the clay base, the DIY paint in with just some matte finish, or I feel like it'll just come off. Okay, my coats are dry, so now I'm going to go in with some of the Sweet Pickins flour sack color. On the front, there is some beautiful crackling going on, but we want to give it some more age by distressing it and making sure everything's nice and smooth. So now I'm having that fun time of getting all the little spindle areas where the sander couldn't reach. It's funny, as you're sanding, you can feel like where it's kind of rough that you need to sand more. So that's what I'm just looking for, that smoothness. Wherever it distresses, it distresses. So after going back and forth, trying to figure out what fonts to do, what I came up with. This is, does it tell me? There we go. That font, which is a cursive, and then they were already attached, so I didn't have to move all the lettering and attach them and weld them together. So, and the one that she liked, I did on the silhouette, so they have totally different fonts. But, and then this one said farmhouse, but we changed farmhouse to Taylor, her friend, bed and breakfast, where you make both. So this one is a tiny, tiny little, not very big font. So weeding it, I got to be careful to leave all my littles. Behind. Every project has its challenges. Just like that. And see, I knew when they're that little that they will accidentally grab onto the vinyl. Get my little tweezers to put it back down. Always easier said than done. And then I'll cut it out as close as I can to the lettering before attaching it to vinyl or to transfer tape. Okay, now I'll get it onto my vinyl. Try to square it up as best as I can. Can't tell you that my cuts are straight. Okay, now I'm just going to eyeball. I laid a piece of tape for the color. I'm going to use DIY's Little Black Dress. I like it because it's so heavily pigmented that I only have to do one coat. Don't want to have a lot of paint on my makeup sponge from the Dollar Tree store. Yep, I did. I can go back and get that. Hello. That would have stunk. Yeah. Before I can sand this, I gotta seal that clay-based paint, the DIY paint in, so I'm just gonna use some matte. Okay, so since you can feel that these are raised, I'm just take some 220 sandpaper. Oh, swoop left one behind. Your sandpaper will tell you. Okay, now I'm just going to age it a little bit using some aging wax. That'll bring out the crevices, and then clear wax in case it gets too dark on me. But I sealed most of it in with the clear coat, so I don't want it to be brown, but it's always scary at first. Then I'll take the clear wax. Then we'll take another cloth and just wipe it clean. Wipe off all that excess. Okay. Sure. It's just the oddness of trying to find paper to fit those old, but they sell better with paper. Okay, we need something. That's what we need. Something to hang it. So no, I don't normally do commission pieces. And even if Diane would have asked me without giving me the butter pats, I would have totally done it for her. It would have been no problem. But I thought I would make a cute video that I would work for butter pats, because if you follow me regularly, you know
it's the thrill of the hunt for those little guys. They're old usually. There are newer ones from like the 50s and 70s, but you know, I personally collect the older ones from, you know, the late 1800s, early 1900s. I'll take anything that I can find. Really, the thought, you know, we hardly set a table anymore. So, you know, the thought of getting its own little plate for you to have a pat of butter just warms my heart. And it's the thrill of the hunt. Stumbling across them, explaining to people what they are, because so many people, you know, we all collect something different, and some people are like, that's just a little kid's play, you know, out of a doll set. You know, I find them in that area a lot. But anyway, give me a quick comment down below. Do you do commission work? Do you barter for commission work? Would you do a trade if somebody asked you to do some commission work? Just like I did. I'm glad that Chris jumped in and helped do the frame. Put that wood in there. Diane found the frame. That was a beautiful frame. Oh, I would love to. I've got frames like that, but they're big guys, and sometimes big wall pieces are hard to sell because you need that much wall space. But now I'm off and looking for them. So anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video, and always, if you're part of the Journey family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out the Journey for the first time, yes, we do lots of makeovers, everything surrounding a second-hand finds, from going to auctions to estate sales, garage sales, sharing the adventures of going out and finding it, home improvements, DIYs, whatever is just happening that week and at that time. So again, thanks so much for watching. And as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you again for all your kindness, your supportive words, your liking our videos. It just means a lot. And if you are new and you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we upload a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.